Dr. R.K. Radha, Assistant Professor, Department of Statistics, Presidency College, Chennai. She has done her PhD in statistics on a novel approach for prior selection in Bayesian modeling. She has 27 years of teaching experience, has guided 4 MPhil students, published 5 articles in national and international journals, has attended 10 conferences in India. She had given training for staff at Tamil Nadu State Statistical Training Institute, Department of Economics and Statistics.
Welcome to UGC lecture series on mathematical sciences. Today we are going to discuss about the methods of estimation. So under methods of estimation, we are going to discuss about what are the types of methods of estimation available, and under methods of estimation we are going to discuss about one important method, namely maximum likelihood estimators, and we are going to discuss about the properties of maximum likelihood estimators. So let us see what are the methods of estimations are available. Commonly used methods are method of maximum likelihood estimation, method of moments, method of minimum chi-square, method of minimum variance, and method of least squares, method of inverse probability. And we are going to discuss only few methods, namely the first one, method of maximum likelihood estimation, and we are going to discuss about the method of minimum variance and method of least squares. Let us discuss about method of maximum likelihood estimation. So to begin with, it is very important to know what is the procedure to find out the maximum likelihood estimator. So if x1 etc. up to xn be independent and identically distributed random variables with probability density function f of x comma theta, where theta is the unknown parameter, then the likelihood function denoted by L of x comma theta is nothing but L of x1 etc. up to xn comma theta. The likelihood function also can be called as joint probability density function. Hence the joint probability density function of these variables is defined by L of theta is equal to f of x1 comma theta, f of x2 comma theta, f of xn theta, etc. So let us denote this as equation number 1. So the method of maximum likelihood consists of maximizing the likelihood function with respect to theta, and we refer the value of theta which maximize the likelihood function as the maximum likelihood estimator of theta. In other words, the maximum likelihood estimator of theta is the solution of the equation dou by dou theta of L of theta, which is equal to 0, and dou squared by dou theta squared, theta is also equal to 0. We know that L of theta and log of L of theta have the maximum at some value of theta. Therefore, it is simple to consider log of L of theta instead of L of theta. Therefore, the maximum likelihood estimator of theta is given by the equation dou by dou theta log of L of theta equal to 0, provided dou squared by dou theta squared log L of theta is less than or equal to 0. Let us go to the how to find out the maximum likelihood estimator for any given density function. So to start with, I have considered this problem. If x1 etc. up to xn is a random sample from a point binomial distribution with the parameter p, you have to find the maximum likelihood estimator of p. So let us first write what is the probability function of the point binomial distribution. So the point binomial distribution density function is nothing but p of x is equal to p power x q to the power of 1 minus x, where q is equal to 1 minus p. And you are very much familiar that point binomial distribution takes only 2 values, namely 0 and 1. Now let us go through the problem once again. See here, if x1 etc. up to xn is a random sample from a point binomial distribution with the parameter p, we are to find out the maximum likelihood estimator of p. Therefore, the procedure is nothing but you have to find out the likelihood function. If possible, you take log L, then you differentiate, then you get equated to 0, get the second derivative, substitute whatever you have got in the first derivative, and if the function is negative, then your maximum likelihood estimator has been obtained. So, let us work out this problem. The likelihood function is given by, which I am denoting it as L, which is L of x1 etc. up to xn, is nothing but product of p of xi q to the power of 1 minus xi. You know that here product of I is equal to 1 to n p power xi q to the power of 1 minus xi is nothing but p power summation xi into q to the power of n minus summation xi. See, just you expand the previous equation, here it is actually p to the power of x1 into p to the power of x2 etc. up to p to the power of xn. The other term is q to the power of 1 minus x1 etc. up to q to the power of 1 minus xn. So, here if the base is same, you add up the power, therefore, you get p to the power of summation xi. Come to the other term, here also base is same, here when you add up to the power, 1 is repeated n times, so when you add up it becomes q to the power of n, then minus of summation xi, that is x1 etc. up to xn, if you add it becomes summation xi. Now, the next step is that you take the log. So, when you take the log, you know that p of summation can be written as summation xi into log p. Next, power term is there, so n minus summation xi log q. Now, you are very much familiar that x bar can be written as 1 by n summation xi. So, from this particular term, your summation xi is nothing but nx bar log of p plus n into, here n is n into, you will have minus summation xi is nothing but once again nx bar, take n outside, this is n minus nx bar. So, you take n outside, you will get 1 minus x bar log q. So, let me denote this as equation number 1. So, the first procedure in MLE is that you have to differentiate the given function with respect to the parameter. So, here the parameter is p, therefore, we are going to differentiate with respect to p. So, when you differentiate, you will have nx bar by p minus of n into 1 minus x bar by q. Now, you take the LCM, here it is pq, numerator is nothing but nx bar into q minus n into 1 minus x bar into p. Okay. So, here this q term is nothing but 1 minus of p. So, you will have here nx bar minus nx bar p, here when you multiply it is np plus nx bar p. So, these two terms gets cancelled. So, when these two terms gets cancelled, you are getting nx bar minus of np. So, this term is nothing but n into x bar minus p divided by pq. Next, you differentiate, you have already differentiated partially with respect to p equated to 0. So, you equate this function to 0. So, you will get n x bar minus p divided by pq is equal to 0. So, here you multiply n inside. So, you will get nx bar minus np divided by pq is equal to 0. Again p and q are constants lying between 0 and 1. So, you cross multiply to the other side, it becomes 0. So, you will have n into x bar minus of p equal to 0. Now, again n is a constant. So, you will take it to the other side, it becomes 0. So, you are left with x bar minus p equal to 0, which implies that p cap is equal to x bar. So, half of the procedure is completed. Now, to assure that the given estimator is a MLE, we have to differentiate again the original equation with respect to p, that is we have to differentiate this particular equation with respect to p. So, when you differentiate, you get minus nx bar by p squared minus n into 1 minus x bar by q squared. So, here writing this equation minus nx bar divided by p squared, here minus n into 1 minus x bar, q squared can be written as 1 minus p the whole squared. Now, I said that when you take the second derivative, put p cap is equal to x bar. In other words, whatever the estimator you have got in your first derivative, you have to substitute. So, substitute p cap is equal to x bar in the above equation. You will get minus n x bar by p squared, which is nothing but minus n x bar by x squared. Here it is n into 1 minus x bar. Again you are substituting p is equal to x bar. You will get this the whole squared. So, you will find that either you can take LCM, or you can find that 1 minus x bar gets cancelled. Here also it gets cancelled. You will be left with n by x bar. Here if you see that this and this term gets cancelled out, this and this term gets cancelled out, leaving out minus n by x bar. Here it is n by 1 minus of x bar. Now take the LCM. When you take the LCM, minus n into 1 minus x bar, here it becomes minus nx bar. So, take n common outside. So, you will get 1 minus x bar plus x bar and x bar get cancelled out, leaving out minus n by x bar into 1 minus x bar. You find that the function is nothing but it is negative. This whole function is, that is dou squared by dou p squared, that is for the function log L, given that p is equal to x bar becomes 0, less than 0. So, we assume that p cap is equal to x bar. Therefore, MLE for the point binomial distribution is nothing but p cap is equal to x bar. So, now having learned the procedure to do the maximum likelihood estimator, let us discuss what are the properties of maximum likelihood estimators. The first property says that the MLE of a parameter is a consistent estimator. In my earlier classes, I have discussed what are the properties of an estimator. So, hence here you find that MLE of a parameter is a consistent estimator. Second property says that the MLE are most efficient and best asymptotically normal estimator. Third one, if there exists a sufficient estimator for the parameter theta, then MLE of theta is a function of mu. So, fourth one, MLE are not necessarily unbiased, but quite often an MLE multiplied by a constant is unbiased. That is, if the function is not an unbiased estimator, then you multiply and make it as unbiased estimator. That is the concept. Next is the MLE is asymptotically normal, it distributed with mean theta and variance 1 by r squared of theta, where r squared of theta is equal to expectation of dou by dou theta log of L of x comma theta the whole squared. So, what I am going to do is that out of all the 5 properties, I am going to take 2 examples where the properties are also satisfied. Whatever I have said in the properties, the problem whichever I have taken will satisfy this property. So, here this is an example with reference to the usage of the property 4. So, here what is the problem? Let us discuss. Prove that the MLE of a parameter alpha of the population having the probability density function f of x comma alpha equal to 2 by alpha squared into alpha minus x, where my x lies between 0 and alpha. Now, for a sample of unit size is 2x, x being the sample value, show that the estimator is not unbiased estimator. So, here also we have to prove that the MLE, and we have to show that alpha cap is equal to 2x. Here you have to mind that for a sample of unit size. So, for a sample only, for a single sample only you are going to find out. So, let us see that how this problem is going to be done. So, here step 1, I am going to find out the MLE of the parameter alpha. So, here my density function is f of x comma alpha 2 by alpha squared into alpha minus x, where 0 is less than x is less than alpha. Now I am going to denote this as L, where L stands for likelihood function. Usually for the likelihood function you should have n random sample, but I have said that for a sample of unit size. So here for only one sample we are going to take, therefore I am denoting this as L. Now take log on both the sides of the equation. So for a single sample, log L is equal to log 2. Denominator when you take it becomes minus 2 log alpha, becomes log of alpha minus x. So let me denote this as equation 2. So what are the procedures of MLE? I have said that you differentiate, equate it to 0, get the value, find the second derivative, substitute in the second derivative. If the function is negative, then we declare that the MLE of an estimator has been obtained. So here differentiating the equation 2 partially with respect to alpha. Therefore you will have dou by dou alpha log L equal to minus log 2. Log 2 will become nothing but it is 1 by 2. So you can write 1 by 2. So here it becomes minus 2 log alpha. When you differentiate you will have minus 2 log alpha. When you differentiate it becomes alpha. Log of alpha minus x is nothing but 1 by alpha minus x. Okay. Now we have to equate it to 0. So when you equate it to 0, what will happen is that you will have, let us go to the previous step, you have to equate this to 0. So when you take the LCM, you will have that minus alpha into alpha minus x minus 2 into alpha minus x plus alpha equal to 0. Therefore again cross multiply, denominator becomes 0. So you will have minus 2 into alpha minus x plus alpha equal to 0. So multiply, so you will get minus 2 alpha plus 2x plus alpha equal to 0. Therefore what happens here, minus 2 alpha plus alpha gives you minus alpha, here it will give you 2x equal to 0. So it becomes alpha is equal to 2x. So here this minus half, when you take this outside it becomes 0, hence here I have not considered this value, for the remaining term only I have found out, hence my alpha is equal to 2x. Now again you have to differentiate with respect to alpha. So here log that 2 will become 0 since being a constant. Here you will have 2 by alpha square, this becomes minus 1 by alpha minus x the whole squared. Now what we have to do is that we have to use equation 4 and 5. That is equation 4 is alpha is equal to 2x. So when you put alpha is equal to 2x, it becomes 2 by 2x squared. Here it becomes minus 1 by 2x minus x the whole squared. So on simplification, this 2 and 2 gets cancelled. So leaving out, actually 2 squared is 4. So you will have 1 by 2 x squared. Here 2x minus x is x, therefore you will have x squared. So here LCM, if you take it as 2x squared, numerator when you multiply it becomes here 1 minus 2. So which is minus 1 by x squared, which is negative. Therefore on substituting alpha is equal to 2x, you find the second derivative becomes negative. Therefore my MLE of alpha, that is alpha cap, is equal to 2x. So I have got for the given density function, MLE for alpha is nothing but 2x. Now in the same problem I have been asked to check whether the estimator is not unbiased estimator. In other words, it is biased. So to show that concept of unbiased, you should have alpha cap is equal to whatever you got it as 2x has to come. So let us see. So expectation of alpha cap, so alpha cap is equal to 2x. You know that expectation of x for a continuous series is nothing but integral minus infinity to plus infinity x into density function f of x dx. So here you have got expectation of 2x. Therefore, limit for this given function 0 to a. So, whatever is there inside 2x I have substituted, then the given function is nothing but 2 by alpha squared alpha minus x into dx. So, I am differentiating with respect to dx, therefore, I can take 2 into 2 4 outside, my alpha squared outside. So, you are left with x into a minus x dx. Multiply this x inside. So, on multiplying x inside you will have ax minus, here you will have x squared dx. Integrate this, you will have ax squared by 2, here it becomes x cube by 3. Substitute the upper limit and lower limit, see what happens. Lower limit, of course it becomes 0. So, let us check what will be the upper limit. So, it becomes 4 by alpha squared alpha cube by 2 minus of alpha cube by 3. Again cross multiply, in other words what is the common LCM? 6. So, here it becomes 3 alpha cube minus 2 alpha cube divided by 6. So, on simplification it becomes alpha cube by 6. So, you already have got 4 alpha squared into alpha cube by 6. Alpha squared goes with alpha cube, leaving out alpha. So, 4 by 6 you will have 2 by 3 alpha cube. Okay. Therefore, you find that expectation of alpha cap is, you should get it as 2 alpha, but here you have got it as 2/3 of alpha. So, it becomes that alpha cap is equal to 2x is not an unbiased estimator of alpha, but you can make it as a unbiased estimator if alpha cap is considered as 3 alpha cap by 2, then your estimator becomes a unbiased estimator. That is the logic. So, hence we have found out the MLE, shown that MLE need not be unbiased, but if cases arise you can make an unbiased estimator as a biased estimator. So, let us go through the next example. Let x1 etc. up to xn be a random sample from a normal population. Find MLE of mu when sigma squared is known. You also have to show that the estimator is a consistent estimator. So, let us go for the proof. So, let us see that how we are going to derive this particular proof. So, here the density function of normal population f of x mu comma sigma squared is nothing but 1 by sigma into root 2 pi e to the power of minus half into x minus mu by sigma the whole squared. So, this is the density function. I would like to find out MLE of mu, hence my procedure is you have to find out the likelihood function. After finding out the likelihood function, if it is necessary, take log, then differentiate partially with respect to mu, then equate it to 0, get the value of mu, find the second derivative, put the value of mu, check whether it is negative. If it is so, then the given function is a maximum likelihood estimator. So, here we have got the given density function. So, let us find out the likelihood function with respect to mu. So, here it becomes 1 by sigma power n. So, this becomes 2 pi to the power of n by 2. So, here it is e to the power of minus half summation over I xi minus mu by sigma the whole squared. That is likelihood function in the sense that for x1 you replace this function, x2 you replace the function, x2, x3 etc. up to xn, then you multiply, you get this function. Now, since it is an exponential, differentiation becomes a little bit tedious, hence we will take log of L of mu. So, when you take a log of L of mu, it becomes minus n log sigma minus n by 2 log of 2 pi. Log of exponential will become minus half summation over I xi minus mu by sigma the whole squared. So, we have completed this thing. So, let me take it as equation number 1. Now the next step is that you differentiate this equation partially with respect to mu. So it becomes dou log of L of mu by dou mu. So here when you differentiate with respect to mu, this is a function which is independent of mu. So this term becomes 0. Again this is a constant function, becomes 0. So on differentiating, this will become minus 1 by 2 into summation over I xi minus mu by sigma. Here you can take the sigma squared outside. So here it is not required to find out write sigma outside. So xi minus mu the whole square will become 2 into summation xi minus mu. You are differentiating this particular term with respect to mu. So you will have a term called minus 1. So minus 1 into minus 1 will become plus 1. 2 and 2 will get cancelled out, leaving out 1 by sigma squared summation xi minus mu. Therefore, the next procedure is dou log L of mu by dou mu equated to 0. So this implies 1 by sigma squared summation over I xi minus mu equal to 0. So here when I equate it to 0, what will happen is that I will have summation, that is my term of 1 by 2 sigma squared. Let us go to the previous step. This particular term, this sigma square term on equating to 0 will get cancelled out, leaving out summation over I xi minus mu is equal to 0. Now take summation inside. When you take summation inside, this will become summation over I xi. Now summation over I mu equal to 0. So here you will have summation over xi minus mu, it adds up to n times, so it is 0. Therefore summation xi equal to n mu. So this will imply your mu is equal to summation xi divided by n. You are very much familiar that summation xi over n is nothing but your x bar. Therefore we are getting mu is equal to x bar. So here to assure that the MLE of mu is equal to x bar, it is required to find out the second derivative. Again differentiating this term partially with respect to mu, let us see that what is the term we are going to get it out. So here you will have dou squared log of L of mu by dou mu squared. When you substitute mu is equal to x bar, you will be left with the term, namely that when I differentiate for the second term, I will be getting it as 1 by sigma squared summation over xi minus mu, that is my dou log L of mu by dou mu term is nothing but 1 by sigma squared summation over I xi minus mu. I will be having it out. So when I differentiate for the second time, I find that I will be having here, see here differentiating with respect to mu means here the term summation xi, when you take it outside, it becomes summation xi by sigma squared minus summation mu by sigma squared. So when you differentiate with respect to mu, this term is 0. Here you will have, here it is minus n mu by sigma squared. This term is equal to n mu by sigma squared. So you will be left out with n mu by sigma squared. So when you substitute mu is equal to x bar, you find that this term is minus x bar by sigma squared. So what will happen is that you will have here, actually when you are differentiating with respect to mu, this becomes a constant. You will have n by sigma squared. So you will not have this particular term. So there is no way to substitute mu is equal to x bar. So you will have actually n sigma squared. so which is negative. Therefore, dou squared log of L of mu by dou mu squared at mu is equal to x bar is nothing but is negative, which implies mu cap equal to x bar is MLE. Therefore, for the population mean, MLE is nothing but x bar. So, in today's class, we have discussed what are the methods are available in estimation, namely the methods of MLE, method of moments, method of minimum chi-squared, etc. Next, we have discussed the general procedure for the method of maximum likelihood estimator. So, we have said that first derivative put it equal to 0, second derivative check whether it is negative. If it is so, that at what point you have substituted, that will become the MLE of the estimator. Now, next we have discussed the properties of the MLE. Then we have considered two examples. One is how to work out the problem on MLE. Next, we have considered a problem where the problem is to find out the MLE, and you have to check whether that the given MLE is an unbiased or not. So, for which I have given an example that it is biased, and I have also discussed that how to change it to be an unbiased estimator. So, here you have got certain questions to be answered. So, here the first question is that what are the methods of estimation? Second, you have to explain the method of maximum likelihood estimator, giving out the detailed notes of the MLE, that what is the procedure like step 1, step 2, step 3, etc. Then you have to state the properties of MLE, namely that it is consistent, unbiased, and it is most efficient. And next, how to bring about the problem of consistency, etc. we have discussed in the properties of MLE. You have to state all the properties, namely 5 properties whichever we have discussed, that you have to discuss in the properties of MLE. Thank you.